One, I am following you and filming you. You take the lead.
Okay, Roger. I'm having a little trouble with the current.
Stand by, one. I'm following you anyway.
Okay.
600 feet. The darkening journey down is met with sudden surprise. In landscape now nearly barren, an oasis for migrating deep-sea fish. "1,000 feet, on the threshold of the least known region of the sea, and the mysteries which have long intrigued man's imagination.
In the mini-sub, at this depth, for me, it's like a slow-motion dream. Going down a cliff is like descending slowly a long, endless staircase without touching the stairs. Sand falls flow almost constantly down to the bottom of the canyon. The falls are created by tons of sand manufactured near the surface. We feel alien down here, but exhilarated, for we have embarked on the exploration of a new environment, which for many centuries men have struggled to penetrate and understand.
Local lobster divers have never descended at night because sharks are known to be nocturnal feeders, and they fear the bull sharks would attack them.
In our day and night surveillance of the caves, we swim toward one of the caverns where we saw a bull shark during the day. In the back of the cave, we discover a blue-jawed parrotfish, one of the largest we have ever seen. Cautiously, we continue our investigation. In another cave, a grouper retreats from our light. And now, not a shark, but our old friend, the sea turtle, emerges slowly with sleep-dulled eyes.
The shadowy presence of death. A returning diver shows in a way most natural to him. A slippery, insinuating capability. The insidiousness of the sea arrow squid. A slippery, insinuating capability. Which has already paralyzed the mini-sub. The mini-sub paralyzed and darkened the mini-sub, having reached the limits of their diving time. Having reached the limits of their diving time. The camera team are forced to call it night. As they slowly move up through the darkness, their first decompression level, they intuitively sense the shadowy presence of death. A returning diver shows in a way most natural to him. A slippery, insinuating capability. The insidiousness of the sea arrow squids. A slippery, insinuating capability. Which is already paralyzed the mini-sub. The mini-sub paralyzed and darkened the mini-sub, having reached the limits of their diving time. Having reached the limits of their diving time. The camera team are forced to call it the night. As they slowly move up through the darkness to their first decompression level, they intuitively sense the shadowy presence of death.
I also remember one evening when Calypso stopped for an early night dive. The sea was smooth as a mirror, the moonless sky black. Suddenly, for miles around us, little creatures popped out of the sea and fell back with tiny splashes. They were our squids. For a few minutes, it looked and sounded like rain. There is so much mystery. We still do not know what kind of life our squids lead between birth and death. But this much we do know. In spite of the perils and hazards of the squid's life in the deep, the sea arrows will return.
with the help of a gas-filled bladder, topped by a vertical membrane. From the surface beyond the reach of the sun. A giant black void, larger than all the rest of the world's habitats combined. There's life here, but not as we know it. Perfectly transparent. Its head is completely filled by two huge eyes with which it strains to detect its prey. Another Twilight monster, Phronima, the inspiration for the Alien movies. She and her developing pink offspring live like parasites in the stolen body of a jelly. Impressive cutlery set and its huge eyes make Phronima a powerful predator. The 1% of marine snow they miss eventually settles on the sea floor.
Which is already mini-sub, paralyzed, and darkened. The mini-sub, having reached the limits of their diving time. intuitively sense the shadowy presence of death. They intuitively sensed the shadowy presence of death.
Father, that's the